the top of the table, and now all thoughts for the title contenders Manchester City and Liverpool will turn to the Champions League until next weekend, that is. But yeah, here is how it's looking. Still a point between the two, still games to play, but both of them coming through their games away from home today, and no problem for City at Elland Road today, Stevie.
No, as expected. Leeds as a team, regardless of whether it's Bielsa or Jesse Marsch, try and go forward, particularly at home, and that means that they're going to leave some holes. Yes, it was a couple of set-piece goals that got the first two for City, but they always looked in control. They always looked as though they had another gear to go to, and 4-0 was actually probably about the right score.
Yeah, he's managed to rest some players as well, as we saw with Liverpool. Don, Pep Guardiola, Kevin De Bruyne resting those legs. That can only be a good thing ahead of this game.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think the biggest takeaway from this is they've now ate into Liverpool's goal difference, so they've got it all the way back to 1, where it was 6 or 7 a couple of games back. Another stellar performance from City. Like Liverpool, Pep's rested 1 or 2, thinking of the Real Madrid game, which is going to be an incredible game to watch. But they got the job done. They've got some tricky ties coming up in the Premier League. They've got Newcastle at home next, Man City, which are expected to beat them comfortably. But then 2 away games on the spin. They've got Wolves and West Ham. That might be a little bit more of a test for City. But it wouldn't surprise you the form that City and Liverpool are in if the two of them from now at the end of the season go unbeaten, because they're the best two sides by a distance.
Shaka, we're just taking a look at the remaining schedules here. Obviously, that's 2 more down for Man City and Liverpool together. After those Champions League games, any here that you see for City that could prove problematic? It is Newcastle next for them.
Yeah, and the only, well, according to the table, you would think West Ham, traveling to West Ham, but as we've seen recently, West Ham with both eyes firmly on the Europa League, I just don't think that West Ham put up the kind of fist that maybe they would have 6 or 8 weeks ago. So as you look at the table, and again, just given the form of both of these, City and Liverpool, them dropping points, is even a draw is going to come as a surprise. And as you look at as you look at the remaining fixtures for both, you just can't help but feel they're going to run the table, and you're not sure where that stumble is going to come, or if there is one, given the form that both of these are showing.
Now, there are some areas that Pep Guardiola probably won't know about just yet, because there's going to be late fitness tests, it would seem. Kyle Walker's obviously a name that keeps coming up there, and we'll see what Pep Guardiola decides to do. What do you think he's going to do with his team? Do you think he knows most of it, or do you think he's still thinking what to do? Oh no,
I don't think this guy sleeps. He just thinks about football. So absolutely, 100%, he'll know who he wants, and he'll know who may struggle, and he'll have it all worked out, regardless of who ends up being fit and who's not fit. He'll know exactly what's going on the field, and he'll have it in his mind. And I think actually this is quite a straightforward one, because I think City just have to go and play the football. That's what they did at home. They went and played the football, and they completely, really dominated the game. Certainly as far as possession was concerned. Yes, they lost 3 goals. So if I'm Pep, I'm not being clever. We always talk about him sometimes throwing a spanner in the works for the opposition that ends up tripping his own team up. I don't think he'll do it this time. I think we'll see a City side that went about it the same way they did in the first leg, and that's how they should go about it. Because if I'm Real Madrid, I know this team can play football.
You know this team can play football, but Man City also know what to expect from Real Madrid as well, particularly Vinicius Junior. So if it doesn't look good with Kyle Walker, like we're hearing today, Don, what happens?
Well, he's still got good options. He's got centre-backs that can play at right back. If Cancelo's fit, he'll shift him across to right back. Kyle Walker's obviously going to be a miss because he's a tremendous player and he's quick. But I think the way Guardiola thinks about the game, yes, he thinks about his defensive players, but he wants his defenders to be comfortable on the ball, because he'll back his team to go to the Bernabeu and not just defend. I mean, they put an unbelievable shift in against Atletico Madrid, which was a different side of Man City that we've not quite seen before. But he'll back himself to dominate the ball. It's going to be one of them games, Kay, it's a popcorn game where you sit back and you go, can't bring this game on, because it could be any result. I would fancy Man City to win it, but I think the game's going to come with a little bit of drama.
Well, thank you very much for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for live streaming, premium content, and let's not forget as well, ESPN FC 7 days a week. Subscribe to ESPN Plus.